Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video we're going to open up another Shadowless deck. Now, at least I think it's Shadowless. I don't know for sure. This one is going to be a little less likely than the last one, which we opened up and it had the Heat Seal. Now the Heat Seal, like the Gold Strip, every time it's ever been opened up, they've always had Shadowless cards inside. And so this is not going to be that. It's not going to be the Heat Seal. It's not going to be a Gold Strip. It's actually going to be one with a regular seal. And I'll show you guys and go over that a little bit more here in a minute. Before we do jump into that, I did receive something in the mail I want to share with you guys. So I didn't ask for this. It just kind of showed up. But it's ASM, and it's for A Simple Mailer. And so this came in the mail. It said, Rusty, many years ago, I started watching your YouTube channel and my passion for Pokemon cards was kindled. Hopefully you like the product and its utility on decreasing damaged cards, Matt. And so I'm assuming that this is for like PSA. It is a little thicker there, so I think CGC cards would fit in here as well. But check it out. It's like magnetic. Kind of cool. So I could definitely see how this makes it easy for shipping and for decreasing damaged cards. I personally use boxes, so this wouldn't fit inside of the box because it's a little bit thinner than that. But if you use bubble mailers, which I think the majority of everyone does for cards that are typically under $250, this would definitely help out because it is very sturdy. Now, of course, it's not going to be damage proof. Nothing really is. But if you put it inside of here, then stuck it in a bubble mailer, not only, I mean, it's going to help out because it has this outside, I'm not sure if that's cardboard or it's like felt on like some kind of styrofoam. But honestly, what I like it more for is the display. So I think it's kind of cool that, you know, it just clicks in there. It goes in and out pretty easy. That was my only gripe against like the graded guard stuff. I can't ever get the things off without fear of almost breaking them, which that could just be user error on my part. But anyways, yeah, so this looks kind of cool. I'm probably going to keep it for display. I think it's kind of nice. You can just stick it right up there. But I picked this Volcanion, just like a mid-tier card. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about it for a minute. I have mentioned in the past I really like Volcanion. The main reasons are because I used to have a Volcanion deck. And I really like the fact that it was dual type. I think that's just something that's kind of unique with it. You know how we have the Gyarados EX that is considered like an alternate art? Well, in a way Volcanion is as well. It's like it has the same type of features. Not only is it secret rare, but it's got that Xerneas in the background. There's a few things going on here. It's definitely not as cool as the Gyarados, hence the price reflective of it. But I just like Volcanion. It connects with me because of the deck, the timing. A lot of people hate on Steam Siege. The only reason I don't is because I like the fact that it's really focused around Volcanion, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. One of the only Pokemon I've kind of connected with outside of the original era. And I do like the special illustration rare that was printed in one of the more recent sets as well. But anyways, let's jump into the deck. I know you guys are probably waiting for that. So here's the deck. So this one is not going to be your typical Zap or brush fire that I'm opening up looking for errors. I do not expect any type of error to be in here. You can get a Beedrill supposedly from an overgrowth deck, but that's going to be non-shadowless where it has the dot in the wrong spot for Beedrill. Like there's a dot right in the middle of the name. But this one I thought would be a good candidate to open up because one, it's already kind of damaged. Got some stuff going on there. But also it has the standard seal. You got the pull tab that's going to go across the middle here. But I am very confident that we are looking at a shadowless deck. It used to be that the decks that I would look for, if you guys watched that video where I had like 13 of the brush fire decks opened up, and I was looking for no damage Ninetales, about half of them were shadowless. The kind that I was looking for was, it actually had this card in front. Well, the ones that are in the backside, I'm starting to realize that they have a better shot at being shadowless. But the main other things I'm looking for, I want to make sure there's damage counters. You definitely don't want to have 1999, 2000 down here. You want to make sure it actually says 10 damage counters right here. The international versions and the later versions did not have that. I think it had something to do with stuff that was being transported across country lines. I'm really not too sure. But the main thing, you want to make sure the deck is on the top half. And the deck is on the top half here. So that does not mean for sure that it's going to be shadowless. It just means that it's on the side that typically had shadowless cards from what we know from opening up these different decks. Also, you can kind of hear the stuff shaking around in there. Another decent sign, but you want to have the damage counters themselves in like a little bag, so you don't want it to be too loud. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Actually, let's see if we can do the pull tab. See if that thing still works. See if I can find it. It's not always on the side. There we go. This one it is. Nice. I know this is gonna sound terrible, but this reminds me of my dad when he used to smoke cigarettes. He'd have those little tabs that you could pull off of the pack of cigarettes. He would keep the Bailey bucks and send all that stuff in. But rest in peace, Dad. All right. Pull this out. Look at that. Just cause a little crease on the box. Amateur move. All right. So looking at the deck right here, you can see that it very well should be shadowless. Typically, anytime you see that seal going across the top like that and meeting, you're going to have a shadowless deck. These are the damage counters I was talking about. You want to, they're in a bag, so they're not going to be super loose. They're not going to be smacking the cardboard directly, but the coin itself will be. In fact, let's pull out the coin. This right here, they have a tendency to have like issues where around the edge there's usually like a lip where it started to peel back, but this one seems to be, well, there's one on this side. It might be hard for you to see on camera. But yeah, you can kind of see where it's starting to peel a little bit, which may not be too super noticeable. But these coins do really well in auction if you can get them graded as a 10. However, if you don't get the 10, they're probably not going to do that great. All right, so there's the rule book. You can see this kind of staining. You might think to yourself, wow, somebody's already been in this deck. Why is it like that? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe glue, the fumes. I'm really not too sure, but this is something very common on the inside of theme decks. All right, so here we have this. We are going to open it up. The front card should have a glue stain on it, unfortunately, but it's going to make a nice addition for my binder. And there we go. We have a shadowless Gyarados. Now, looking at it, you might think, well, that card looks really good. Are you sure this is going to have a glue stain? Well, I'm not completely sure, but I am like, however many of these shadowless decks I've ever opened up, that many times out of that many times, sure, which is technically 100%, but I've never opened one without a glue stain, so maybe we'll have an exception right here. The glue stain is quite light, I will say that, but you can see it. It's definitely present straight down the middle there, but overall not too bad. Got a few spots in the corner as well. I heard, somebody told me like this guy Kurt had a card cleaner that might be able to get that glue off of the card itself, which that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that can help out or not, but if it did, that'd be nice. I just want to make sure that it leaves the original color. I can't imagine that you're going to be using just like water-based products to pull off glue, because I want to keep everything original, and there still should be some kind of like light staining. Definitely not as bad as the Mewtwo's. If you've seen some of those, like it changes the whole color where the glue was, but I'm not I'm not seeing too much color difference right here where the glue is, so that's kind of nice. Maybe because the top was cracked, some of those fumes were able to get out and discolor the deck box itself. Now I'm going to try to knock some of these cards loose because they're stuck together. Been stuck in that deck for over 20 years, 26 years I guess at this point. Now I will be trying to grade many of these cards, and hopefully we can do pretty good. Like you can see, the condition should be all right. The centering does look like it could be off a little bit. We'll just have to look, because some of these cards as commons and uncommons and a few rares, they can be quite expensive in a 10. But we have a Magikarp. Definitely don't have the Pikachus in here. You got Starmie. We're just going to go through them. You just never know. Theme decks seem to have a high chance for like issues. Even like on the backside, sometimes you get cards that are inverted or miscut, and then if one card is, the whole deck is. But as you can see, so far we haven't hit anything. So Beedrill, nice rare there. I mean, these are so clean. Now this does have some whitening across the top. It could just be junk. So I'll come back through and I'll just like rub my finger kind of across the top and see if like those little white specks fall off. Got a Kakuna. Look at that. Got a stack of cards. Now what I'm hoping is that the Bulbasaurs and the Ivysaurs, those all look kind of nice. Got Kakuna, which before we get to the Ivysaur, a lot of people always thought that this was a big issue Most of you probably know about this if you've been around for a while, but if you haven't and you're new, like you've been here in the past, I say new, but I mean like the past 5 years and you haven't really studied Shadowless, then it says length. It should say length and weight, but there are several issues with cards in Shadowless that have that kind of stuff going on. Nice Ivysaurs, you got Weedle, a couple of those. Even the Gyarados on the unlimited side has an issue. But yeah, the Bulbasaur does the same thing. So if you look right here, you have length. So it says length twice rather than length and weight. Taking these cards off much differently. All right, we have Potion, we got Bill, Super Potion, Switch, and then we've got a host of energies down through here. Ironically enough, there are issues that occurred on Unlimited base that were not on Shadowless, such as the Gyarados has the correct spacing for the number down there, and the water energies that were from the decks were corrected like this. However, the ones from the pack, or I may have that backwards, they're actually shifted upwards, but as far as I know, all of the Shadowless energies did not have issues like that. All right, guys, there we go. It's a Shadowless deck. We didn't hit any errors or anything too crazy, but this Gyarados, pretty nice. I think we did well with that. I mean, just having minimal glue stain issues going on and just kind of going over what to look for in a Shadowless deck. Thanks.